Or we got some new milestones here in Marvel Strike Force, guys. And Scopely mentioned that this is supposed to be something that's supposed to help the player base or give them some more options to get some better rewards here once they're going through these recurring milestones. And we also have a new orb. The Milestone 1 orb is now replaced by the Milestone 2 orb. And that's supposed to be better for the overall player base. But we're going to go through in this video, guys, to find out whether or not these milestones, these updates are actually benefiting the player base. And today, guys, I'm going to be doing that with my brother here, Valleyflyin. Welcome back to the channel. How you doing, bro?
Hey, what is up, Goofy? How are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well, man. I'm curious to talk about these milestones because me and you, we are in a different place in the game, kind of, sort of. Well, I'm sort of kind of getting.
You got two accounts. Our main accounts are similar, but your smaller account, I haven't been there in a while. I think you offer some valuable insight to players that are starting off at mid game and at the mid game level. So
yeah,
let's hear the different perspectives.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
That's pretty much basically the angle today. Or I'm gonna be assessing it from the perspective of a player that's a little bit earlier in the game at that mid game point, pushing for your Dark Dimension, and players you probably aren't even doing Dark Dimension 2 yet. We're gonna talk about the milestones and how they sort of work for that part of the player base. And I think on your channel, we're going to be talking about how it helps out maybe potentially endgame players or how it works for endgame players.
We'll talk about the positives and the negatives for like endgame players on my channel.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we're going to take. But let's jump into game here. And first, I want to start off with just the in-game mail, and obviously, like I just realized I'm blocking some of it here, but I'll read it for you, right? So the idea here is the updated rewards. We updated the milestones with the goal of greatly increasing their value overall, and you will now find Orange Gear Elite Orb Fragments, which we've seen some, Armory 14 and 15 Orb Fragments, ISO 8 Ions, L3 training modules, in addition to increased amounts of purple and orange gear within the milestone rewards. And then for the High Roller milestone, the High Roller Gold milestone has been raised from its previous max of 2.7 million to 4 million, creating additional milestones and rewards. Start earning your milestone rewards. And we skipped over this part here. They also, obviously, they mentioned this previously that they're also introducing now the new Milestone Orb 2, which is going to be replacing the old Milestone Orb 1. So let's start off with the orbs, right? I think that's probably the way place that makes the most sense. Let's take a look at the orbs, and we'll look at the Milestone Orb 2. So right now in this particular orb here, we'll start off with the left pillar, right?
What is that? What is that green thing there? That's the first thing I'm noticing. What is that?
This is my biggest question right now. So the training mat orbs, cool, whatever.
That's good. I like that.
That's a good thing. Gold, listen, I'll take it how I can get it, to be honest with you.
Everybody, yeah.
The gold in the game is just cray, right? The premium orbs, I mean, the low percentage drop rate, but either way, they're necessary things that you need in the game to be able to get AV now. Probably
a little more value by at the mid and early game level than someone that has a lot of these characters. I mean, new players, those premiums are very valuable. At the end, they're not as valuable. So I think this benefits new and mid game players. These premium orbs a little more than other players, but I don't know if it really increased over Milestone 1 versus Milestone 2. So I think it's a wash there.
Yeah, for the most part, they look very, very similar. Not really much of an increase, in my opinion. But this is probably where I have the biggest gripe, right?
What is that? What is ability orb? That sounds like an obsolete orb. I don't. It sounds like something in the past that used to be around.
Yeah, my thought is if you're gonna say that you're gonna get rid of the old ability orb, and now you have these new ability orbs that are specifically geared towards, you have your T3, your T4 orb, your T2, whatever. Like, if you're going to do that, then why is it that you told us to open up our old orbs? Why is this orb still here?
Laziness. Laziness.
Man.
Let's go for the simple answer. They don't know. Maybe not laziness, but they're not paying attention to details. I don't think this is on purpose. I think like it's an oversight.
It definitely got to be an oversight. It definitely got to be an oversight, in my opinion.
There's so many of them in the game. It's like,
yeah, I don't know, but here's the part where it gets crazy, right? I feel like they're doing this on purpose because at the 93% rate, this is you have a chance of getting this, but then when you go to the 5%, then the new ability orbs are showing up.
I recognize those.
So what was the reasoning for having these old orb fragments for the old orb if you didn't, then you have this new orb?
Either way, it's not good. Either way, it's not good. It's either they're not paying attention to the details, and that's not a good thing, or they're doing this on purpose. That's not a good thing. So either thing. This first iteration of this Milestone Orb, I'm disappointed. And just this, in that, what is the left pillar that we're looking at here? This is the left pillar right now. The consistency is very disappointing.
Of course, you do get
that's good. That's good, but I think that's the same. So that's a wash, right?
Short percentage drop rate. I mean, you're not really getting much out of that. Now, let's take a look at the center orb. So this is where you're going to be getting these character shards, right? So let's look at the common shard drops that you're getting from this Milestone Orb too. So, I mean, America Chavez. I don't think you really need America Chavez. She's a decent character.
Which are the ones that are going to be valuable to you? Because I think at different points, some of these characters are different values. And what is the more valuable characters for you at the early and mid game level?
So at the early and mid game level, Beast definitely is relevant, right? You can use him. He's an nice. I think he does have the. I don't know if he still has the X-Men. Yeah, he has the X-Men tag, so you can use him to unlock Magneto. Obviously, later on, if you can get Jubilee, you're going to have an option now for the X-Men are probably the top raid team in the game. Yeah, Doom raids kind of sparse out what you have to use, but still top raid team in Marvel Strike Force is Beast. You have Bishop that's here. That's definitely going to be relevant to you, as a mid game player.
Let me actually stop at Bishop, because at the end game level, Bishop I think is a very important character. At the early mid game level, him not being farmable, how much of an asset is he to you on your roster at the earlier levels in the game?
At least having him with Beast is relevant. I think you can definitely find some sort of combo and mashup there. He's much better with Jubilee, right? He gets the offense up. He's able to do more damage. I mean, he's going to be getting additional health because that's the legendary of the team. But overall, you're still going to be getting added value with using both Beast and also having Bishop together. Okay. And at worst, right, you're getting shards that you can use, that you can find valuable later on when you do unlock Jubilee. Because when you get her, you're going to get her at 5 stars. So it will be nice to be able to get some additional shards on some of these characters here.
Agreed.
I think Widow being there is okay. I mean, Coulson, not really crazy relevant.
It's a Ward D. That's the last priority for me, and that's what I'm recommending. Ward D is their last priority.
Crystal and Deadpool, they're relevant because they are used to unlock legendary characters, so that's relevant.
I mean, Domino as well in that team.
Electro, I mean, she's a part of a legendary team, right? With Doc Ock. Ghost,
Gamora, you got Gamora in there.
Gamora's in there. I completely almost onced over Gamora. Gamora is there as well. So I mean, that's very
easy farm though, but still one of the better chargers in the game. Hella's Hella. That's an important character for new players.
Hella's hella important. So therefore, I mean, it's good to have her there. Long shot, okay, that's a war store farm. So being able to get him earlier is definitely relevant, right? Mm-hmm. Sinister, a war store character, relevant. Nebula's there. Miss Marvel gets overlooked a little bit, but she's also used for legendary unlock and kind of
she does have that Inhuman tag.
Secretly, for an early mid game player, Miss Marvel can do a lot of work for you. She's a city character too, city hero. So for your Gold Rush challenges, for some other things in the game, you could definitely get some city block. I mean, you get some good value out of her. Hero 7-1. There's definitely some value there with this ore. But Red Guardian, okay.
Alexi, yes. He's at high expensive rate in an arena store.
Yeah, so being able to get some shards for him is good. I'm almost wondering, though, if this Milestone Orb seems a little too crowded, but I think the previous Milestone Orb was also the same amount of characters as well.
That's an excellent point. There's a lot of characters that I'm seeing in this Milestone Orb.
And they're all at the 1% drop rate, of course, right? So
another arena increased cost character in Scream.
Scream is also here too. Long Shot, now Shatterstar is also here as well. So there are some good characters that are in this orb that you can get some good drops on. White Tiger's not farmable. She's not there. Farmable. I think Moon Knight. I saw her. Maybe did I see Moon Knight?
Moon Knight's in there.
Moon Knight's in there. So overall, I mean, this is actually not bad. I mean, Yo-Yo and Zemo these are good characters here. They actually have some really solid good characters that are in this orb right now. I think there's probably too much for it. I mean, but it's a Milestone Orb, so I guess the idea
you're getting on a daily basis.
Yeah, you're getting these fragments often. You're probably opening up what, 10 orbs every 2 days. I mean, you're probably fine, right? Or 3 days. I don't know. I don't know what the rate is on it, but these are some
depends
good,
how much gold. Just depends how much gold you're spending.
How much gold you're spending, which is another thing that we got to talk about in this video. But
yeah, I mean, let's talk about it.
Overall, there are some good characters that are definitely in this orb, and you're going to be getting these fragments on a day-by-day basis. So there is some valuable characters that you can get from here. So I guess from that perspective, it is fine. I think just the other rewards that are here, they kind of just seem like they're repeated rewards. Obviously, the rare drop is what I actually don't like, and for mid-game players right now, is that Symbiote Spider-Man is now at the lower percentage drop rate. And that's for me more of a feel bad thing, right? Because everybody else in the symbiote team is already hard to get. Scream boosted, or the higher farm in the arena store, in the war store. There's Carnage there, and the premium orb is AV. It just seems like this symbiote team is really hard to get for these earlier mid game players, and I just feel like maybe. It would have been nice to have seen him get out of this orb and go somewhere else where he could be farmed. I think probably would have been more welcome for me. I feel like the change to have Emma in this orb was a little late by Scopely, in my opinion. But what do you think?
No, that makes sense, because I was thinking of it. Oh, I don't have Emma at 7 stars. I have Symbiote Spider-Man at 7 stars. It's better for me, but you make an excellent point, because I think if I was missing Emma or missing Symbiote Spider-Man, my roster would be hurt more by not having Symbiote Spider-Man. So especially for the newer mid-game players, I think this is a little bit of a hurtful change by having less Symbiote Spider-Man shards available, because I think he's a more required character for the Doom raids. You could get through to Doom raids without Emma. You could get through Arena without Emma. She's good on a team, but Symbiote Spider-Man, I think you really need him for the Doom raids, and any other lane that the bio and symbiotes are available in. It's great.
Yeah,
so, this does hurt a little bit for newer players.
He's an excellent character for Dark Dimension 2. He's excellent for Dark Dimension 3, Dark Dimension 4. I mean, you really don't want to do DD3 and DD4 city lanes without having the symbiotes, and he is the reason why they are so good. So I don't like that he's at the lower drop rate now. I like that there's a chance for you to get Emma shards now, but I don't. This makes it too hard now. He's been there for a while. I would have liked to have seen him jump out of this orb and go to a particular node. But so overall, the Milestone Orb 2, it's okay. It's a little bit better. There are some better characters that are there than the previous Milestone Orb, from what I can remember here. When we take a look at the higher roller milestones, which is probably a little bit more relevant to you since you're a later game, you're probably spending a little bit more gold. When I look at the higher roller milestone,
not that much more.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on your channel. But when you look at this one here, I mean, they are giving the Armory 14 fragments. This seems like it's going to take some time for you to really accumulate the amount of fragments that you need to open up these Armory 14 orbs. Armory 14 orbs are helpful for players who are definitely completing Dark Dimension 2 and probably not able to get through those Doom campaigns yet. So getting some of these Armory 14 orbs, getting some of those 14 pieces is helpful on their roster. But overall, man, I don't think that if the incentive was for us to spend more gold to get these milestones, I don't see where I'm enticed to do so.
For me, it looks like the cutoff is 2.3 million. Everything is just like extra stuff after that point. All the good stuff stop at 2.3 million. So I think the intent is to give you some reward for spending that much gold up to the 2.3 million.
Yeah.
After that, the way I see it is, for those days that you're spending a lot of gold, like when you're ranking up characters, you could spend up to 4 million there. It's for those days. It's not for an everyday thing. I think the everyday thing is still the best practice, is still keeping it about 1 million, maybe going up to 1.3, but in that range, that's the daily thing. And then some days when you're spending a little extra, you could get those incentives up to the 2.3. And then those really, really rare days, you get up to the 4. But I think the best practice still for these gold milestones are going to be that in that 1 to 1.3 range on a daily basis is where most players should be sticking.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So I think overall, these increases are minuscule at best, right? If they were going for, hey, here's some incentive for you to try to spend more campaign energy, spend more gold in the game, then I think that it's a near miss. I do like some of the stuff that's in the orbs. I think that those do help out the player base, but I think overall, man, my assessment here from a mid game, early game perspective, it's more things that you can get in the game, but I don't necessarily know if it really makes that much of an impact as I think that they thought it would, in my opinion.
Okay, so this is not as beneficial for mid and newer players, but yeah, we'll talk about the end game player, but not as beneficial for mid and new that you would have liked.
Yeah, definitely not as much as for mid and new. I think even with the high roller milestones, they're not going to have that much gold to spend anyways. So I don't really think that there's going to be that much of an impact there. I do think getting it looks like you're getting more of those fragments from doing these milestones in general. So it will be good to get the orbs and get some more content from those orbs. They haven't changed the resources, but there are some better characters that are in there. But overall, I don't think that it really makes much of a difference, in my opinion. But I mean, maybe I'm thinking about this wrong, Valley, right? Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Maybe from a perspective of a player that's just entering the game, or maybe for someone that's sort of at that mid game point, maybe this may have more of an impact. But like I said, right now for me, man, I just don't really see. I think this is a near miss.
All right. Well, we'll discuss perspectives from different accounts. We'll discuss it from your large account and my main account's perspective when we go over to my channel. But yeah, I guess they could have done a better job looking at the new experience and the mid game experience, because it looks like it's kind of a wash with these. Yeah, definitely. And actually, maybe negative impact because of the symbiote Spider-Man and Emma situation.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I think just for the symbiote Spider-Man and the Emma situation, I think that's one of the biggest ones that stood out to me here when making this decision. But like I said, we're gonna go talk about the end game experience here on your channel here, Valley. So go check that out, guys. We'll leave a link down below. I appreciate you being on the channel, man. Much love to you.
I appreciate you having me on the channel.
Absolutely. You guys let me know in the comments what your guys' thoughts are in regards to the milestones. Do you think that they're better? Do you think that the orb is better? I mean, what are your thoughts here? Leave it in the comments, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. And Valley, let's give them a salute. Y'all be blessed. And y'all be safe.
Great one, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's the sexy voice. I was waiting for that.
This is the I need a losogen voice. This is the cough drop voice. That's
I forgot you're feeling under the weather. Yeah, okay. I guess that's the benefit of being under the weather. You get that sexy voice.